In this lesson, we are going to be factoring quadratic, and we'll come back to what these words mean, quadratic trinomials. Okay, what does that mean to factor quadratic trinomials? Okay, so let's actually start from the back. Trinomials, this means there's going to be three terms. Quadratic, if you remember back to the week before we closed, this is the highest exponent is 2. That's what quadratic means. And factoring means we want to find out what multiplies to this. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be factoring quadratic trinomials. So an example of a quadratic trinomial is x squared plus 5x plus 6. That's a quadratic trinomial. Okay, it's got the highest exponent is 2. It's got 3 terms. Okay, another example is 5x squared minus 7x plus 15. Okay, now in this lesson, we're actually only going to see quadratic trinomials like this, where the coefficient of x squared is 1, because it actually gets way harder once we put a number in front. So that's next week. Okay, but for right now, let's get started with level 1. Okay, and the reason this is level 1 is because it's only got positives. Okay, the signs do make this a little bit tricky, so we're going to start with positives, kind of get in the flow of things, and I'll throw in signs as we get to the next levels. Okay, so here are your examples. I want to find out what factors would multiply to get this. Now, what we noticed in our your previous observations and the previous questions in this assignment is that what I'm looking for here is two numbers that multiply to 10, and that add to 7. Okay, so this is where you kind of just got to sit and think for a minute. Two numbers that multiply to 10 and add to 7. And our answer is going to look like this, right? Which is kind of the pattern that we've seen, that if I multiply two binomials that look like this times this, right? Then I get x squared, and then what ends up happening is that these two numbers add to this and multiply to this. So right now I'm thinking of two numbers that multiply to 10 and add to 7. So numbers that multiply to 10 is only 5 and 2, 10 times 1. So 10 times 1, 10 and 1 don't add to 7. So 5 and 2 have to be our answer here. So this is positive 5 and positive 2. Okay, and let's just check really quick. Right? X times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 2 is 10. When I combine these like terms, okay, so I multiplied to check, right? I factored to get this. This is my answer. Let's look at another one. I need two numbers that multiply to 24 and add to 14. Now 24 is tricky because a lot of things multiply to 24, right? You might have come up with 4 times 6, 8 times 3, what else? 12 times 2, 24 times 1. Okay, so that's what makes a number like 24 a little bit tricky. But we know that our two numbers have to multiply to 24 and they have to add to 14. So let's check. 4 plus 6 is 10. Nope. Right, and you can cross it off. 8 plus 3 is 11. Nope. 12 plus 2 is 14. There we go. So this is x plus 12 and x plus 2. And it doesn't matter if these are switched, right? Like it could be x plus 2 and x plus 12. Okay, this is what I think my answer is. I'm just going to check it by multiplying. X times x is x squared. X times 2. This is 12 times x. 12 times 2. And then these combine to become 14x. And there we go. Okay, looks good, right? I got back what I started with. Okay, let's try one more example. I need two numbers that multiply to 5 and add to 6. Well, there's only two numbers that multiply to 5. It's a prime number, so this is 5 times 1. Okay. So this is going to be x plus 5 and x plus 1. Okay, and remember it can be in either order. It could be x plus 1 times x plus 5. I'm not even going to check this one. If you want to, you're absolutely welcome to.